Good Friday morning, Northern Michigan. Doug Luciani with the Traverse City Area Chamber of Commerce joins us this morning. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning.
Topic that we have talked about previously, but looking at arts and culture in the state, obviously they've been affected tremendously because of the economy and the financial status that we're seeing there, but there is some good news that's coming out of arts and culture right now.
Well, there's good news in the sense that we can begin to quantify the impacts of arts and culture spending in Michigan. And what we find in recent studies really verifies what we've thought all along, and that's that the arts is a very important economic sector in Michigan, and it's one that we've really not ignored per se, but really have cut back and put on the back burner. And at a time when the governor is talking about a talent attraction, when we have jobs in Michigan that are going unfilled, high-skilled jobs, we're trying to attract people from around the world to come work in Michigan. To not have as thriving an arts community as we can is a real talent attraction problem.
And one thing you and I were talking off camera about, which really, I think, visibly sets the stage for the impact that art has in our community. You look at things at the State Theater in downtown Traverse City.
Right. The arts, one of the things that a recent study by ArtServe showed is that arts is a great way to revitalize rural areas and urban areas and areas that may have been struggling. And we've seen that in Northern Michigan. The State Theater, as you mentioned, is a great example. You can really see the impact that the State Theater has had on downtown Traverse City.
Sure.
And that's why Manistee is revitalizing its theater, and Frankfurt is revitalizing its theater, and we've seen the Purple Rose Theater down in Chelsea that brings people to that small community from really all over the state and all over the Midwest.
And this I found really interesting to show the impact that the status of the economy has had on arts recently, and culture, of course. Since 2002, state funding for arts, culture, and education has been cut by 90% in Michigan. I didn't realize that was that much, 90%.
90% from more than $250 million a year of state funding to the arts, all of which went and was re-granted through the Michigan Cultural Arts Association, MCCAA. Each of those grants required a one-to-one match at least. So the money that was put in was leveraged back to the state. That's only $2.5 million a year that the state is spending now on the arts. And the arts institutions that receive that money are pumping back into the state about $51 million for that. And then arts overall is pumping really somewhere around $10 billion a year into the state economy. So it's pretty good return on investment for the state.
So obviously, something that's been cut dramatically, but yet it has a huge impact.
It has a huge impact. Talent looking at Michigan sees that type of investment. It sees what's happening to the arts. It sees Michigan not 5th in the country in arts investment, but 44th. And it makes a statement. When you combine that with a decade of loss in jobs and economic issues that have been affecting Michigan, even though Michigan is coming back and there's a lot of great things here, people from the outside look and they say, yeah, Detroit used to be the Paris of the Midwest. It certainly isn't anymore. Michigan used to spend over $250 million a year on arts and culture, and now it spends $2.5 million a year, which, we spent much more than that revitalizing just the State Theater.
Right. So I guess take-home messages, maybe this weekend take the kids to the State Theater, grab some popcorn, go enjoy a movie. Right,
and support the arts. And the chamber really this year is focused on Michigan beginning to reinvest in arts and culture in the state. And that's why we've made that the theme for our annual dinner this year on January 27th.
Excellent. Well, Doug, as always, thank you for that information. We appreciate it. For more information and a direct link to the Traverse City Area Chamber of Commerce, go to our website. You see the link right there, upnorthlive.com. Switching gears now, taking a look at weather watchers. Here's Storm Team meteorologist Joe Charlevoix.